and hello, welcome to this video. If you're seeing this as the 2nd of January, so happy new year. I hope you had a safe changing of the year. But we're gonna talk about my December wrap up because, like I said, it's the new year and December has ended. And I want to say that December is very slow for me reading wise. I want to say it took me a while to get through my books, but I have read a couple of books. Most of these are done by digital reading because, I didn't have books on my physical TBR halfway through December. So I was like, okay, so I'm gonna read new releases through digital and ARCs because I read 2 ARCs this month. Very happy about it. But let's talk about it. I'm gonna do physical books first and then the digital books second. I think that's the easier way around. But I started off my month with rereading Mile High. I actually wanted to reread more of the series, but didn't get around to it. So I will try to read 2 in January and 2 in February. But I think there's also a lot of releases in January and February I'm excited for, so we'll see how that goes. But that's a bit of my planning with rereading the series before In Her Own League comes out. So we'll see, but I reread Mile High and I annotated it because I didn't do that the first time around because I had to now. And I did it with the other series, with the rest of the series, so I had to. I give this 5 stars. This whole series, I checked. I think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. And I checked my ratings of this series and it were all 5 stars. So this is a 5-star God series for me, but 5 stars. It's the beginning of the first book of the Windy City series. In this book you follow Evie and Xanders. And Evie is Xanders' flight attendant. And Xanders is a professional hockey player in the NHL. And he's like the bad boy. He has this big reputation of being a fuckboy and whatever. And she's like, I don't want to do anything with you because, I cannot put my job on the line for you. Your reputation and my job? No. It's not worth it. But, they're just so awesome. And spicy. It's spicy. Like I said, I really needed a reread. And I knew I wasn't going to reread the entire series because obviously a lot of new releases as well this month, but oh my god. So good. So good. I highly recommend this. I see people hating this book. I'm like, no, we're not hating on Stevie and Xanders because they're my babies. They're my babies. Yes. So 5 stars. I want to say December overall with ratings and books I read, top tier. Top tier. So then I have read Good Spirits by Vicky Burson. This was one of the last books on my TBR and I was like, I'm gonna read it. And it's a Christmas novella, it's not a novella, it's a Christmas book. It's the first book in this series and the second book comes out in the fall of 2026, but very excited for it. But basically he is the ghost of Christmas past, something like that. And then she is the person that he needs some happy ever after, I think. No, not happy after. She has this problem and he needs to help her out with it in order to pass on to someone else to help them out. And it's a romance book, so things got a little romancy, but this was such a fun book. Took me a while to get through. I want to say 2 to 3 days because I don't know, I just wasn't in a reading vibe, but that picks up. So 4 stars. Really liked it, and I cannot wait for And Now Back to You by her, coming out in February. So excited. Yeah, if you see this, December has ended, but you need to pick this up for next year or next December, because as I'm filming this, it's still December. It's December 29th. Yeah, December 29th as I'm filming this, because I'm not gonna pick up any other book this month, this year, because I'm like, I finished books. I have finished my current read. I am done. It's done now. So yeah, And then I have Dove by Paisley Hope. I saw this one when I went to the city like last week, and this was in store. I don't know why this was in store, because it's not supposed to come out until the 2nd of January, I want to say. But it was there, and I got it because I'm like, oh, is it in the store? I'm gonna read it, because it was on my January TBR, because it came out in January, and I got the ARC as well whilst I was reading this. I was like, oh, the ARC got delivered. Fun. So I want to say I went back and forth, but I read this physically, not digitally. But I really liked it. I mean, I feel like Paisley Hope is a really middle author for me, like 3.5 stars. I want to say, what's it called? Riding the High was a 4 or 5 stars. It's my favorite out of her other series, and this is the second part in a militaire. I want to say militaire, but they are ex-militaires. But they are in this motorcycle gang in a small town, and she moves there. I want to say she comes from a religious family, and he is like the big bad person in the gang. And you know, you follow their story, how it began and where they are now, because you have to see this as a prequel to Wolfie, but Wolfie came out first and then Dove. So I don't know how you want to read this. Like, I want to say, if you haven't read any of them, read this first, because Wolfie is mentioned in it, so maybe you get like interested in Wolfie, and then read Wolfie. But I don't know. I want to say do that, but 3.5 stars. It was fine, nothing too special. Then I have Nocticadia by Carrie Lake. This is one of my last reads. Like, I was reading this on Christmas, like the 25th. We have 2 days of Christmas. We have the 25th and 26th. So lots and lots of Christmassy things to do. But I started this on the 25th, and I was like, I'm not sure if I ever gonna finish this. And then I read 100 pages like easy, like it was so addicting. And then the 26th I read like 200 pages or 300 pages, so I was like, I had like this much left, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna read it, I'm gonna binge. And I gave it 5 stars. I don't know if I said it, but 5 stars. It's like this dark academia vibe, you know. Her mother gets killed by some sort of, it's not curse, it's an illness. And she knows for a reason she saw those worms getting out of her mouth, and she's like, I'm gonna get into it. And then she gets invited to this scholarship or this school, Nocticadia, and they do this whole study on the illness her mother had, and it's a one big mystery. And there's a student ex-teacher trope. If you're not into it, don't pick it up, because it's basically going for the whole book. You know, it's not like bam in your face from the from the first page, but you get like these signals, these vibes. But highly pick it up. I highly recommend this one. I really liked it. Then I have the last 2 physical books I read. This one is Sweet Venom by Irina Kent. It's the second book in her Viper series, I want to say. I gave this 4 stars. It was fun. I had a fun time. It was easy to read. But I do think I prefer the first one in the series, and the third one is coming out in June 2026. So I'm keeping my eye up for it. But in this book you follow Violet and Jude. And Jude is one person. He's a dark person. He's a bad person, and Violet is like not really into it, I want to say. Like, Violet is the sister of the girl you follow in the first book, so you get like little, it's very intertwined, I want to say, the first book and the second book. Like, in this book there's a 3-month gap where happened to her, something to her, and you know, there's a 3-month gap. It's it's in the book. But in Beautiful Venom, the first part, you read what happened during those 3 months. So the timeline is intertwined between those 2 books, I want to say. But I liked it. It was nothing special, I want to say. Like, I did enjoy it. That's why it got like a high rating, and I was like, okay, like it kept me on the edge of my seat every single page. Like I was turning the page every single time. But I wouldn't say I want to go and reread this, but if you're looking for a dark romance that is also a little bit of hockey, of ice hockey, I want to say, but then this is for you. Then it is for you. And then, as last physical book I have is Insatiable by Lee Rivers. This is the first part in the Edge of Darkness series or trilogy. I saw this in a bookstore and I was like, whoa, since when do you carry dark romances? So I had to pick it up because I read her other duet, The Little Stranger and Little Liar duet. I like Little Stranger and Little Liar. I was like, oh, I don't know about this, but this really picks up. It's a 4-star read. Yeah. Is it? Yeah, it's 4 stars. I have my ratings here because I always get confused when I rate books. But this is a 4-star read. Really liked it, and yeah, I want to pick up the rest. I really want to pick up the rest. And the story follows Stacy and Cade. And Cade, his father was not a serial killer. He had this like obsession, and obsession is, I want to say, not always the best, but you know, I think he killed his mother. I don't know. I don't know about that. I don't know the details, but that's what happens. And Cade and Stacy, they have a past. And the more you read in this book, the more you get to see of their past and what happens. And, you know, get little snippets of the past and then go back to the present, where they are. And it's just a very dark read. So for all these dark reads, I just mentioned check trigger warnings first before reading it. Because, yeah, I don't want to be the reason people get triggered, okay? But check them, especially for this one. It was a lot. I felt so bad numerous times reading this book. So yeah, 4 stars, really liked it. Those were all my physical books. So I'm gonna go rapid fire through my digital ones. I think that's the best. I read Norma book by Katie Holt. This is a book about wannabe authors, and they have this rivalry going on, and they are taught, or because there's this much rivalry in their teaching lessons, they are always main center of attention, and the teacher's like, you two are gonna write a book together and it's gonna be a romance, but not a happy ever after. So I really liked it. I gave it 4 stars. But yeah, I feel like it was done very good. I really liked the writing. I really liked the setting. And it was pretty fast paced, I want to say. This was her first book. It was amazing. Then why I read Norma book this month is because I got the arc to the last page, which is her second book that's coming out in May. And I read that because I was like, oh, I'm gonna read it because I liked that in my book. And then I read the last page. I gave that also 4 stars. And that's about the girl in the book, she works in a bookstore, but the person that runs the bookstore, he died. And he always said, if I die, you're gonna get the bookstore, you know? Like, she was the manager, everything. So, you know, she was thinking, oh, I'm gonna get a bookstore. But then his grandson, Henry, came along, and he's like, I inherited the bookstore. So, you know, it's my bookstore now. But the bookstore is obviously not very, I want to say, it was in debt. Like, lots and lots of debt. And they were like, how are we going to be able to save it? Because they were like, is it even possible? So you see them going through their own problems because they were like, they didn't want to do anything with each other. And they were like, I don't want to do anything with you. And then they had to work together to save the bookstore. It was amazing. I really liked it. So by May 12th, I want to say, I think that's the release day. If it comes out, pick it up. Then I read Iced by Leah Riley. It's a hockey romance, ice hockey romance. It was an art because I think the physical book is coming out this month. I think today actually. I think. But I was like in the mood for a hockey romance after reading Sweet Venom. But it was 3.5 stars. Wasn't too bad, but I want to say if you're in a really ice hockey mood, don't pick it up. Don't pick it up. It was fine. I mean, it wasn't too bad, but there are better books out there. Yeah. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, I don't want to speak badly because I did get the opportunity to sign up for the arc and get the arc, but it was a very middle of the road book, and I wouldn't even be able to tell you a lot of details about the book because honestly I don't remember. Okay, don't sue me. Then I have Sinbin by Chelsea Curto, which came out this month. Oh, it was so good. I gave it 4.5 stars. It was such an amazing read, and I cannot wait to pick it up. I hope that I can pick it up next week in Dublin. When you see this, I'm in Dublin. Whoa. But when it comes out, I'm in Dublin. But Sinbin, it's part 4 of part 5 in the DC Stars series, and I read the DC Stars back in November, and I binged it, and oh my god. And then I know, oh, Sinbin is coming out, and I read it. It's about that coach, and coach is a single dad because he had a one-night stand with someone, and that became a baby, and they tried to be in a relationship, but that just didn't work. So they're both single parents, and they have a sweet girl, Olivia. And then we meet our other main character, which she is a professional hockey star, or no, not hockey, ice skating. But she has this problem that she feels like she's burning out of her passion from ice skating. Words are leaving me currently. But so her coach's girl, Olivia, she really wants to be the big ice skater thingy, you know? And the coach is like, oh, but maybe you could teach my daughter. You know, they had this one night stand, and you know, things happened with there's a scene where they have like this one night stand, and it cuts to what happens in the 4th book with one of the characters, and then they end the night because he had to go to the hospital, but so they rekindle with each other, and the tension is just there. It's amazing. Pick it up. Okay, and then I have the last book I want to say. Yeah, the last book I read, which is Ferocious English, but that is the 2nd book in this trilogy. It continues where Insatiable ends, and it's dark. It's even darker than Insatiable, but it's good. It's very good. I read it like yesterday in a day, like the 28th. I read this. Like I stayed up till 3 a.m. to start it, and I was like, if I don't quit now, I'm gonna stay awake before. And then in the book, I was like, I'm not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. So Ferocious gave it 4 stars. Oh, that I don't know if I can say too much about it, but it's following Stacey and Kate. But with Kate's POV, it flashes back to the beginning of their relationship to where they are now, I want to say. But it's very dark. Like, it hurts. It hurts so much. But like I said, I still want you to pick it up. But I can't go into the depth of it because I don't want to spoil anything in the book. But just know you need to pick it up. But with that is the end of this video. If you liked it, please leave a thumbs up and let me know your best book that you read in December, because I want to know. And then I will see you in the next one. Okay, goodbye.